Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It is Friday, the 14th of February. Happy Valentine's Day out there to all you lovebirds. It is a 3-day weekend. Everybody enjoy 3 days out of the market. This is my weekly recap. It goes out to all my subscribers and everybody on my email list and YouTube. If you're interested in learning more about me, please stop in and visit me at smartoptiontrading.com. You can come in and trade with us in the room. We have a room. We have option flow through private Twitter, morning videos where we set you up for the day on names that we think can outperform and move that we're looking to play based upon setups and flow, technicals and news. Recap video like this one every day. Plus, we do a subscriber webinar every Thursday after the close. So come on in, $25 for your first 30 days. Give us a try. So let's talk about this week, and let's just kind of back things up before we get into today's action. And this week, again, was another big gap up on Monday, right? We did the same thing. The last couple of Fridays, we sell off on Fridays, then we gap up on Monday, right? Sell off on Friday, gap up on Monday. Sell off on Friday, big move up on Monday. And this is all revolving around what's going on with the coronavirus over in China and worries and the media spreading fear and the media going out there and people saying, oh, 60% of the world's going to get contaminated with this. You know, as of last I saw, there was a little over 1,000 deaths and 50,000-ish people are sick with this, almost all of them in China. And when you look at this and you compare it to what goes on with the flu in this country, where there's over 64,000 cases, 1,384 deaths here, we'll pull it in. When you compare this to what goes on with the flu in this country, over 10,000 people in the United States alone with much smaller population than China has died from the flu. Not trying to say this is not bad for China or not a big problem. You know, there's, you know, let's put this in perspective. You know, China's slowly getting back to work. We got a nice 3-day weekend to see if this can calm down a little bit. And that's what I'm hoping for. We have options expiration next week as well. So you can see, you know, after that big move on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were slow moves up. And then we've kind of just been chopping around it. You know, today's action, you know, volume was very, very low until the middle of the day. Somebody's bugging me. Good here. And, you know, everything looks just fine. You know, very tight range candle. We'll see. Everybody's calling for doom and gloom in this market, but this market's really giving no reason to dump it or short it yet. So, you know, I wouldn't get too worried about it. The SPY hit new all-time highs this week. The Qs hit new all-time highs this week. Even the diamonds hit new all-time high this week. So there's been a lot of really good action that's come into this market and lots of things to do. And when you look at this week, you know, the setups were there. We talk about them every week. You had this big move in work that we participated in, and some of us did better than others on Monday. And then the announcement that it was fake news and it sold off. And look at this, it's all the way back. So obviously there's some appetite now for this name here, work. You've seen this moving here. PayPal, multiple times flow. First on Monday, that big move. Then today, again, they came after it here at highs. There's been moves there. AMD put in new all-time highs this week. Nice, strong move off of that. To give ideas, Square resumed its upward trajectory, right? Bounced around, gave trades on it this week. Here it is again, trying to break out today, not quite ready to go. The name continues to look good. A lot of things there. Twitter was in play this week, right? Nice move after earnings came in, consolidated, now moving back up, looks fine. Microsoft gave it a big trade early this week, big move up, and then came in, now consolidating here back on the 8-day. And just trying to put things in perspective for you guys, right? Names still look good. The names look fine up here. Amazon this week, not the easiest of trades. Gave a big move on Monday when option premiums were still jacked, but nice move up, came in a little bit, resetting it down into this 2100 area in the 8-day, probably nice for a long. Shop had good earnings, skyrocketed all the way up there, and, you know, now coming in, looks very much like Amazon did after earnings. What else was in play this week? We talked about Twitter. GE, I'm now long GE here. It came back in a little bit. I'm long this in my long-term account. I played Crowd multiple times this week. In it now, own common. I actually have calls sold against it today, going in through the weekend. I did that again today. And really, you know, looking for things to do. Starbucks gave a nice trade yesterday on flow, giving it back today in that gap. What else? Guys, help me out. Big flow in Zoom has been trying to wake up. Another name that gave a nice trade this week or two, trying to get going. above 91, trying to get there. So things continue to look good. Apple just consolidating here, probably waiting for more news on China, very tight candles. So you look at all this and you say, what's really wrong with this market? And the truth is, everybody's trying to make a big deal out of it, nothing. Netflix just not ready, but hanging in. NVIDIA, fabulous earnings, got rewarded today. We talked about AMD hitting new all-time highs. Roku, unfortunately, they didn't like the report as much as you would have thought they would have. I made money on it pre-market, got out, and I haven't revisited it this afternoon, and we'll see where this settles. It came into a big, strong area down here where it has a lot of support around this 127. If we lose that, it has an uptrend that comes into play somewhere around the 125 area. My trading this week, I traded what the market gave me, guys. I traded a lot. I had options and I traded stock. I did cover calls. I did a little bit of everything. I traded PayPal, Boeing, Square, AMD, Square more, Crowd a couple times. You could see TTD somewhere in there. I grabbed work at one point. I don't even see it. So, you can see it was a very busy week for me. Solid, good week. And I am happy with my results for the week and for the month so far in the year. I didn't touch HD. Thank you for pointing it out. HD new all-time highs, right? Another nice move. Steady up here. So overall, the market continues to act well, and they're just rotating in and out of names, and that's it. Facebook still looking at this gap, has peeked into it a couple times now, not quite ready. You got a tight range doji today that'll put this on the radar for Monday as well. So, lots of action, lots going on. 3-day weekend. Nobody wants to be long over it. Will this be the third week in a row we come in and they take everybody, all the bears, for a ride? We'll see. And we'll see what the action is. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Enjoy the extra long weekend. And for those of you with me, I'll catch you guys bright and early on Monday morning.